In 2021, Claire is on her way to the city of Venus. Since it is late, she decides to spend the night in a motel. There is no one at the reception desk, so Claire rings a bell that has a label with 3 smiley faces on it. Eventually, Shelley arrives to book a room for her. Claire asks for directions to Venus, and Shelley tells her the fastest route, revealing that she grew up there. Later, while Claire is resting, someone knocks on the door. A mysterious voice asks if Pamela is there, but Claire says they have the wrong room. After a few seconds, the same person knocks again and repeats the question. Confused, Claire looks through the peephole but sees nothing. So she opens the door to check the hallway. No one is there, so she goes back inside. While Claire is in the bathroom, the door opens. Suddenly, she turns around and screams when she sees a masked girl. Moments later, she regains consciousness tied to a chair in a dark, filthy room, and without her glasses, she cannot see clearly. However, Dollface appears in front of her and puts her glasses back on. While Dollface touches Claire's hair and looks at her closely, Claire tearfully asks why they chose her. Dollface replies, "Because you're here." Before her death, Claire struggles for a few seconds. At the end of the room, the Scarecrow and the masked girl celebrate another kill. In the present time, Maya has escaped from 3 killers and has managed to kill the masked girl, who turns out to be Shelley. Maya hides behind a tree and watches the Scarecrow, who repeatedly strikes something with his axe before picking up Shelley. After the killers leave in a truck, Maya wanders alone in the forest. Moments later, she sees a police car on the road and immediately hides. Sheriff Rotter passes by and fortunately does not see her. After the car leaves, Maya continues her way until she reaches an old church. When she goes inside, she looks around and touches the piano until Gregory appears. Gregory is surprised to see that Maya is still alive, and Maya looks for a way to escape. But Gregory has blocked the only exit. The evil man fills 2 glasses with alcohol and tells Maya to stay calm because there are no masks here, confirming that he is actually the Scarecrow. He offers a drink to Shelley and tells Maya to do the same for her boyfriend, who was previously killed by the 3 killers. Maya says she did not intend to kill Shelley, but Gregory does not believe her and throws her out. Maya runs as fast as she can. Meanwhile, Rotter receives an urgent call from the station and realizes that Maya is missing. He orders his men to search for her near the lake house where she had been staying with her boyfriend. At that moment, Maya comes out of the forest and gets scared upon seeing a car. Rotter picks her up and listens to her story about confronting the killers. Maya explains that she knows where they are hiding but will only tell him if he takes her to her sister. When Maya asks for a phone, Rotter pretends there is no signal. Then she asks for a first aid kit. Rotter steps out of the car to get it from the trunk. Maya takes the opportunity, grabs the steering wheel, and escapes. On the road, she hears through the police radio that more bodies have been found. She also realizes that they are searching for her, and at that moment understands that Rotter is helping the killers cover up their crimes. Maya searches the car for anything useful and fails to notice a truck approaching. She manages to avoid it at first, but eventually crashes into a tree. At that moment, the Scarecrow appears and pulls Maya out of the car. Maya tries to resist, but is not strong enough. The Scarecrow throws her into the back of the truck and ties her hands and feet before driving off. When Maya looks around, she sees Shelley's body beside her. There is a smiley face tattoo on her wrist. Then a flashback reveals that Gregory is Rotter's son. After Gregory kills his classmate named Tamara, the judge wants to send him to prison. But the law states that minors must go to rehabilitation centers, and the sheriff himself, his father, has a clean record. Therefore, the judge declares that Rotter will retain custody of his son. If Gregory commits another crime, the judge will send him to prison until the age of 18. A few weeks later, Gregory kills a man in the forest with an axe. Shelley, who is watching from behind a tree, then helps him cover the body with leaves. That evening, Rotter finds the body and realizes that his son truly has a problem, but he does not want to lose him. Instead, he offers a deal. Rotter will cover up all his murders, but Gregory must not kill anyone from their own town. Only tourists. In the present, the Scarecrow, who is Gregory, and Dollface take Maya and Shelley to their hideout. Before turning on the wood chipper, the Scarecrow says goodbye to Shelley. Maya feels sick when she sees blood coming out of the machine and bursts into tears. He strikes Maya with the handle of his axe and knocks her unconscious. In the morning, Rotter is at a local restaurant when suddenly Maya's sister, Debbie, arrives with her husband Howard and their bodyguard Marcus. Howard shows a picture of Maya to everyone and says that her boyfriend was killed in this town a few days ago, and now they want to find her before something similar happens to Maya. Everyone stays silent, and Debbie is forced to beg for any information. A waitress says that a few days ago, when Maya ate there, she met her. But the rest of the townspeople judge the waitress for getting involved, forcing her to say nothing more. Later, while the waitress is resting, Debbie approaches her to convince her to talk more. The waitress explains that for years people have been murdered in this town, but it usually does not happen to locals. She tells Debbie that Rotter knows about everything that happens here, meaning he will have the information they need. Meanwhile, Maya regains consciousness in pain and realizes that the Scarecrow is tattooing a smiley face onto her skin. The shock and pain cause her to pass out again. On the road outside the forest, Debbie's group is following Rotter, who arrives at the morgue. Deputy Tommy shows him a body that was found near the lake house and confirms that all of them are locals. Tommy knows it was Gregory's doing because he has always helped Rotter. But this time, the rule of not killing locals has been broken, and now Tommy wants to call the state police. Suddenly, Rotter picks up a medical drill and pierces Tommy's head. Then he puts the body in a bag and drags it toward his car, while Debbie's group witnesses everything. Some time later, Maya regains consciousness again and is startled when she sees the Scarecrow picking up the masked girl's mask from the table. The Scarecrow grabs Maya as she tries to resist, but it is useless. He forces her to wear the mask and gently strokes her hair. Maya kicks him and removes the mask. The Scarecrow leaves the room and locks the door. In the evening, the Scarecrow and Dollface drag Maya toward the truck and force her to wear the mask again. It is clear they want her to become the new masked girl. Another flashback shows that 12 years earlier, Shelley and Gregory, as teenagers, are looking for their next victims at a gas station. Shelley is hungry, so she goes into the store. Shortly after, a man approaches her, but his angry girlfriend interrupts him. While the couple argues, Shelley returns to Gregory and tells him what happened. The couple comes outside, still arguing. Gregory says he likes them. At the motel, Gregory and Shelley take out their knives and attack the couple's room, asking about Tamara. When no one answers, they decide to force their way in, but then realize the girl has already killed her boyfriend. Shelley and Gregory exchange a glance and ask the girl to join their killing group. In the present, the truck stops near a gas station, and the three of them watch different people coming and going. When Dollface and the Scarecrow finally spot a couple they like, they follow them. Dollface tells Maya to knock 3 times. Maya does so before Dollface asks about Tamara. The couple tells them they have the wrong room, but they repeat the process. When the couple again says no, the Scarecrow breaks the door, throws the woman against the wall, then strikes the man and knocks them both unconscious. Minutes later, the couple is tied up and the woman cries, begging for her life. The Scarecrow carefully looks at them before bringing Maya forward. He frees her hands and tells her to kill one of the tourists. Maya refuses and steps back. So the Scarecrow gets angry and, while his partner watches, kills the man. The man dies instantly, but the Scarecrow keeps hitting him. Then Maya takes advantage of the moment, grabs Dollface's blade, and strikes her with it. When Dollface collapses, Maya repeatedly smashes her head against the ground and finishes her. This leaves her in shock. The Scarecrow praises Maya's actions before taking her toward the crying woman and telling her to kill her as well. Since Maya still refuses to harm an innocent person, the Scarecrow guides her hand and forces her to stab the hostage too. Then he lifts the victim's chin so he can look into her eyes while she slowly dies. As the Scarecrow pulls out the blade, he asks Maya if it felt good, but upon seeing the blood, Maya steps back again. After that, the two of them leave the place. At that moment, Rotter calls Gregory and tells him that Maya's family is following him, so he directs them toward the sawmill. He drives around a bit to find a suitable place to hide the car and turns off the lights. Soon after, Debbie's car arrives, but they cannot see the police car. So Debbie assumes Rotter has increased his speed and tells Marcus to keep going. Eventually, the group finds a trailer, and Marcus immediately becomes suspicious because Rotter's car is not there. Before they get out to check, he gives Howard a gun. Marcus enters the trailer and makes sure it is safe before telling the other two to come in. He asks them to lock the door and stay inside while he goes to look for Rotter. A few minutes later, Marcus finds an abandoned sawmill and notices an empty bag with blood on the ground. When he looks inside, he is shocked to see a running machine and a lot of blood on its blades. Taking a closer look, he sees the remains of a body. Suddenly, Rotter appears at the entrance, points his gun at Marcus, and forces him to drop his weapon. Rotter kills him with 2 shots and closes the sawmill. Meanwhile, the Scarecrow parks the car near the trailer and ties up Maya before getting out. Nearby, Rotter watches everything. The Scarecrow walks around the trailer, banging on the doors and scratching the walls with his axe. Suddenly, he breaks a window, and the couple inside falls to the ground in fear. The Scarecrow continues breaking the windows while Howard fires many shots, but it is useless. The Scarecrow gets back into the truck and drives at full speed until he crashes into the trailer, flipping it over. Shards of glass severely injure Howard's face, and Debbie says they need to escape. But at that moment, the Scarecrow enters the trailer. Howard tries to shoot, but his ammunition is empty, and the Scarecrow kills him with an axe. Minutes later, Maya, in shock, sees Debbie and the Scarecrow coming out of the trailer. As he stabs Maya's sister, he looks into her eyes, but Maya's only reaction is trembling and crying. After that, the Scarecrow retrieves Dollface's body and unties Maya's hands. Before leaving, he leaves a knife for her and drags the body away. After Rotter also leaves, Maya finally comes to her senses. She carries Debbie's body into the truck, determined to go home. But in the middle of the road, she stops and decides to go back for revenge. Recognizing road signs, Maya finds the hidden entrance to the hideout on the ground and, carrying a gun she found in the truck, goes down. The hideout is large, and Maya sees many disturbing things like chains as she searches for the right place. Eventually, she finds a chair under a bright light and hears a sound. She continues moving to take a closer look and sees Rotter drinking and listening to the radio. Rotter immediately notices her too, but before he can react, Maya easily kills him with 2 shots. After examining the chair, she finds a rope and realizes that she had previously been held captive there. Then Maya goes through a back passage and reaches Gregory's personal room. Crazy words are carved into the walls, along with photos of Shelley, personal belongings, and disturbing drawings on display. At that moment, the Scarecrow enters the room. He sits down and gestures that now there is only pain inside Maya. However, Maya corrects him and says there is nothing inside her. After the Scarecrow claims that he has freed her, Maya forces him to remove his mask. Gregory does so before commenting on the fact that Maya is the only victim who has ever survived him. He also says that Shelley was the only light in his dark world. Maya declares that she came here to kill him, but realizes that he is the only thing left from the time of her family and boyfriend's death. She also drops the gun because it is empty. Gregory moves closer, and soon they comfort each other in their shared loneliness. When he is distracted, Maya stabs him and watches him fall to the ground. Gregory says that now they are alike before Maya finishes him off with an axe. In the morning, Maya leaves the hideout wearing Gregory's mask.